What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Friday Night Live. We are here with y'all, man. Friday Night Live. We ready to rock and roll. Uh, got an interesting topic that I want to touch on tonight. And I'll wait a little while, but y'all can see the title. And I'm pretty sure you can complete the sentence. You see the first part of it, but I'm pretty sure that if you've been around on this planet long enough, you're able to complete the second part of it. So what I want to do is touch on a few scenarios um, of how this happens, and also to kind of let people know that it's not just always necessarily about a food and his money. You know, it's not always about a food and his money. Pardon, but he could have some assistance. So what, or she can have some assistance too. So what I want y'all to do is, as y'all come into the room, click that like button. Click the like. As soon as you pop in here, let the first thing you do is hit that like for your big brother, and try to even and get some balance. And if y'all are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And if you are subscribed but you don't have your notifications on, click your notifications. Make sure we go through all those steps. Make sure we go through all those steps. Y'all can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me? Might have said my homie Deeper Elevation said no sound. Can y'all hear? If you can hear, give me a thumbs up. I'd hate to have to repeat all that. Okay, I'm good. Okay, good. All right. I just want to make sure. Um, but yeah, we're gonna go into a few dimensions of it. I'm not gonna take a long time, but we want to go into a few dimensions of how a fool or non-fool can part with their money, or how their money can part from them. This topic was inspired by something that we talked about on the latest episode of our sports podcast called Legends 34. All my sports fans, please subscribe to the Legends 34 podcast. Y'all do that as soon as you can. Hold on, let me. And we were talking about, we got a little more in depth on the podcast, but we were talking about Glenn Davis. If y'all don't know who Glenn Davis is, click the like, man. If y'all just coming in, click the like button. If y'all don't know who Glenn Davis is, he's an ex NBA player, Big Baby Davis, and he just got sentenced to like 3 years and a few months, along with another former NBA player named Terrence Williams, because they were running some kind of health insurance scam, under the umbrella of the NBA, and they got caught. So when they got caught, then they got charged, then they got judged, and now I think Terrence Williams got like 10 years or something like that. And Glenn Davis was lucky to get 3.5 or whatever it is he got. And the thing that I was thinking about when we were having that conversation yesterday, the first thing that was coming to my mind is when you think about all of the money that these guys make throughout their career. And I don't care how short your career might have been. If you played 5 years in the NBA, 5 years in the NFL, 5 years in Major League Baseball or hockey or whatever it is, any of the major sports, these are sports that are now the economics of these sports are so out the roof, so astronomical that the top guys are making 30, 40, $50 million a year. The middle of the pack guys are making 10, 15, 20. And even the guys who are lowest on the totem pole, the bench guys are making 2 million, 1.3, some cases 3 or 4, depending on, you know, how it was laid out. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, man, but you got to factor in, you know, the taxes and all that. They got to pay taxes on that money. Okay, cool. But you have somebody who, you make 10 million a year, man. I mean, when the smoke clears, you may have what, half of that, you know. Then of course you have your agent, you have, so I understand how that goes to where even if you made 10 million in that year, when the smoke clears, out of that 10, you may come away, you may be sitting on 3. I get it. And like I say, the government is taking the lion's share of that, right? So, but my point is, even with $3 million, $3 million, if you started working on a job when you was 20 years old, and then some kind of way you work for all the way up to retirement age, you work for 45 years until you're 65, just may not be the same job, but different jobs. Unless you making 6 figures all your life, you're not going to see 3 or 4 or $5 million in your lifetime. And when I was making the comparison to the professional athlete making the 10 million and coming away with maybe 3 of that, that's just 1 year. So you can't, you factor in the other 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years they played, or however long they played, even if it's 3 or 4. The average person is not generating that kind of revenue and working 40 years on a job. So the average person doesn't see that kind of money in their lifetime, which means that if you're smart, and you don't have to be a genius, you just have to have some basic common sense to where you don't live above your means. You don't get extreme because you get caught up in the original number. I make $10 million a year. No, you're paid, your salary says that you make that much money, but that's not how much you come home with. That's not how much you come away with. So even when you are bringing in that kind of bread, it's still a level of wisdom that you have to exercise. You have to be smart to know, as crazy as this is about to sound, $3 million is not a lot of money. That has to be the attitude that you take. Even though we look and say, well, yeah, actually it is, but really it ain't. But it really is, but it ain't. If y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean when I say $3 million, it's a lot of money, but it's really not. But it is, but it's not. Those who know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And using what I'm talking about with Glenn Davis and the other NBA player who started doing scams, both of these men are still in their 30s. You're still in your 30s, right? And you've played as a professional athlete and have generated, like I said, more money than the average person will ever see in their lifetime. And you did it in a short period of time. You did it in under a decade. And now you don't have any of that money. And they say, well, how do you know that? The proof that you don't have any of the money is the fact that you were out trying to pull a scam. Because only a super fool, you got fools and you got super fools. Only a super fool would have the kind of money that LeBron James has, or have the kind of money that Steph Curry has, and still be out here participating in scams and little lightweight hustles and licks and all that. You would have to be mentally challenged to even do that, or have a mental problem that you just can't seem to get control of. So the fact that these guys were actually doing that, it 100% proves that the money wasn't there. And I'm not being judgmental or disrespectful towards them. I'm just using it as to make my point. When you got it, you have to be really, really wise with it. You got to be wise with it, man. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I have seen in my lifetime that certain people make with money, and people who have made a lot of money or are making a lot of money in the moment, one of the biggest mistakes that I see them make is they adopt a mindset that they're going to always have this money, that it's always going to be rolling in like this. Now, you can adopt a mindset that you're going to always have it. Yeah, you can say, oh, I got this money. I ain't going to never be broke. Never be broke again. NBA young boy. Never broke again. You can adopt that mindset, but there is it's a body of knowledge that has to accompany that mindset as well. You can, that's a great thing to say, okay, I got about 10 million. I'm never going to be broke. My family is going to be set. My children is going to be set. That's a great mindset to adopt, but a formula has to be in place to make sure that that statement comes to fruition. If you're just saying it, but your lifestyle is still pushing towards the opposite of that, pushing towards something that resembles more of more going out. See, because everything is cool when more is coming in than what's going out. See, that's how it works. You know, your expenses are, I'm just throwing something out there. Your expenses are 10,000 a month, but you're making 50,000 a month. Okay, you know, you got $40,000 to kind of to live with, to kind of work with, right? So that's when it's coming in. But if you're an athlete and then all of a sudden you retire, you're an athlete, all of a sudden you get cut from the team, whatever may happen, now the income stops, but the expenses don't. The expenses don't stop because you still living in that house. You still have those cars, that lifestyle. You still have the family members that you were taking care of without a second thought. You were taking care of family without a second thought because you were able to do that. So mama got a house, little cousin that you grew up with, you got them a house, you paying your sister's bills, you know, all these different things are going on, and now the money has stopped, but they're still dependent on you. And sooner or later, you're not able to keep your head above water. You're not able to maintain it no more. And since you are the head and the head has fallen, what falls after the head? The body. The body is everybody else, you know, all the people that you were taking care of. So a formula has to be in place to make sure that, yeah, I got this bread, but how do I keep it? How do I grow it? Because even see, a millionaire becomes a billionaire when they figure out ways to take the millions and grow them into billions. Or not even, because everybody ain't gonna be a billionaire, but you grow them into tens of millions. Or if you're really doing it, you into hundreds of millions. You may not get to a billion, but it's a lot of people that's worth 300 or 400 million, just being their net worth. So that's when you get to the part of, I'll get to later when I talk about, it doesn't always have to, you don't always have to be a fool to part with your money. Sometimes you can just make a mistake. Sometimes you can trust the wrong person or the wrong people. So and it's usually that agent, it's usually that accountant, it's usually that manager, that you have entrusted, or they've gained your trust to handle your finances. When you are somebody that's bringing in revenue, you might be an entertainer, you're a rapper, you're a singer, you're an actor, like I say, you're an athlete, and they had a game sold up so heavy now that where they make you believe, they have made all of us believe that we have to have an agent. I have to have an agent. I have to have uh, this accountant. I gotta have this. I'm gonna put you with this money guy. I'm gonna put you with, and a lot of times the people who are that you're signed with and under, they will give recommendations to you of people that are affiliated with them that occupy those positions. I got a great accountant for you, man. Oh, I know a great agent. I pass all my clients to this guy. He's worked with me for 15 years and 20, 30 years. And this is that. So by you being in business with whoever you're in business with, you trust in them. So now you trust who they refer you to. You don't know them. And then you hear that same story that we always hear over and over again, how somebody has come along and this guy's broke now. But you don't think about this for a minute, y'all. How often do you hear about agents going broke? How often do you hear about the accountants going broke? And I know some people might say, well, yeah, but they're being smart with the money. Yeah, they're being smart with the money that they stole in some cases. They may be more financially disciplined and have a little more financial literacy with the money that they stole or they scammed you out of. So you don't really hear about a lot of broke agents. And the agent's career is always gonna last longer than the person they represent, especially in athletics. Now, entertainment, yeah, you can go a little longer, maybe, but if something happens where you're not popping like that no more, you ain't getting in no more movies, you ain't getting no more movie roles, you ain't selling no more records no more like you was, you ain't going gold and platinum, them days seem to be over. But you can hang a little longer in entertainment. But in athletics, that agent's going to get a hold of you, get what he get, whatever deal you have with him. He's gonna simultaneously, while he has you, he's gonna have 10, 15 other clients. And then when your career is over, he already got them more coming up in the wing. So he'll be around when he's 60, still bringing in money, because now he has a name, now he has a reputation. You are part of his name and reputation. You are on his resume. But you broke. You don't have anything. They don't double back and say, hey man, Shout out to Allan Iverson, who I read a story a while back where somebody set something up. I don't know who it was, but somebody set something up for him. I don't know if it was somebody in his family or one of the companies he worked with. If it's one of the companies he worked with, I'll be shocked. But it could be possible, to where when he was getting bread as he was playing, they were putting away some of his money that he couldn't touch until he reached a certain age. And I don't know if the age is 45 or 50. Some of y'all can look that up. CLB says the representative lasts longer than the represented. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to lay it out. Beautiful way to lay it out. But it was set up, some money was put aside for Allan Iverson to where, according to the story, that he couldn't touch it till he reaches a certain age. I think they should do that with everybody. I think a percentage of every athlete and their salary should be put to the side in an untouchable place where Jay said Reebok did it. An untouchable place where it accumulates throughout the course of their career. And when they're done, which in, I don't know the statistic, but a nice percentage of athletes are struggling financially just a few short years after they retire. So if they had that set up, if this was set up, or if you just did it on your own, somebody in your family did it, your mama did it, somebody, just a piece of that salary was taken out every time, man. And you one of those dudes making $15-20 million a year over the course of 10 to 12 years. Then by the time you retire, man, you may have 30 or 40 million put up. So that way, if you do foolishly part with your money, you got a lifeline, you got a safety net that you can land on that will prevent you from being flat on your face at 36, 37 years old. By the time you're not even 40 yet, you lived this great life, lived your dream, made all this money, man, travel the world. Everybody know, world famous, and you're struggling. And I don't like to say, the names of people. I have people in my mind, man, and it just, it's a heartbreaking thing, man. But again, like I say, it's not always you being foolish in terms of being frivolous, being wild and loose with your money. Sometimes it's a matter of just who you trusted. I think Tim Duncan got beat out of a lot of money by an accountant that he trusted. So it can happen to anybody. It can happen to you. But that's why I advocate more for. Here's the deal, man. When you become empowered, meaning that it just in one sense, there's a bunch of ways to be empowered. But when you become financially empowered, meaning that the bag has landed on your head, you just got signed to the NBA, the NFL, okay, you are now the cash cow, the savior of the family. I believe that when you are empowered, you should immediately work to empower those close to you, the trustworthy friends and family members that you might have that are close to you. I feel like you should build your team from the inside out. Teach those around you, or have it, if you don't know it, set it up with those around you, certain people around you can learn certain skill sets that will create a role for them in your business, in your life, in your structure. So now it's not just you, it's y'all. So now, okay, man, I put my younger sister through this such and such class. Now she handles my finances. My sister got me. My brother's my agent. My best friend I grew up with, he takes care of this or that. He's in real estate. He makes sure that I don't get some property that's a bad investment, a bad move, and a bad deal. You know, you got to empower people around you and put and hold them accountable to, like, hey man, look, I want everybody on the payroll. I want all of y'all on the payroll, but you have to be worthy. You have to earn what I want to pay you. It can't just be, okay, now I got $20 million. I'm just going to be just giving everybody some money and then paying everybody's bills and all that. That's reserved for mama and daddy and, you know, certain people that, you know, had that place in your heart to do that for, you know, but you literally have to build your team. Don't let those on the outside of you build your team for you. You don't know them. And it's going to be the same scenario. It's going to be the same scenario that has always been historically, where people who are assigned to you. See, that's why they were so mad at Lamar Jackson, because he doesn't have an agent. His mother was handling his negotiations, and they don't like that. They don't like that because it takes the power away from them to scam and deceive and beat you out of your money. They don't want outsiders coming in and messing up the game that's been in place for decades and decades and decades. They don't want no outsider coming in, and that's why they don't like LeBron James's guy. They don't like Rich Paul. They don't like him because he changed the game. They didn't like when Master P was getting into sports agency and all those levels of business. They didn't like that. They like, because they coming in changing the game, and they coming in with the mindset to empower their clients. Look, one has the mindset to empower the client. The other has the mindset to devour the client. So this is why they want to always keep us out of those types of mindsets and those processes. They don't want us involved in that because they eat off of our ignorance. They eat off of you. All you are just a piece of flesh that contributes to their generational wealth. So that's part of the ignorant side of it, where it's not just, like I say, it's not just a foolish, frivolous throwing away of money. Like, hey, let's go to the strip club and just blow $100,000. You know, how many guys that have lived that way throughout their careers, how many of those guys can probably say, and I said this before, how many of those guys can probably say that, man, in my career, I've probably blown $5 million. See, and that's one of the most painful things that can go through a person's mind. It's like, man, once you are broke, and look, and let me tell y'all this here, because it don't have to be millionaires that I'm talking about. It could be you and me. How many times that you had $1,000 and you just messed through it? You just ran through that $1,000 like it wasn't nothing, man. You went out and buying all kind of crap that you didn't need. You just balled out that day with that rack, with that $1,000 that you had. And then when that 1,000 was gone or almost gone, that's when you thought about it. You thought about, man, I sure could use that 879 that I blew. Or bills come up, or something comes up, because something unexpected always comes up financially. And if you don't have the means to take on a financial emergency or financial situation, but you could have. It's one thing when you just ain't got it. It's like, man, I'm just broke. I ain't got it. I'm down right now. I'm struggling, so I ain't. But when you did have it and you could have, see, a lot of times, and y'all can bear witness with me on this because we've all been through it. You feel the pain when you do get, just say you do get that $1,000. I don't know how you got it. You might have hit a little scratch off, whatever. You might have got a bonus at the job. I don't know how you got it, but you got it, right? Didn't see it coming. The 1,000 came out of left field. Sometimes we will be wise. Sometimes wisdom will prevail and we'll go, and you know what? I'm going to pay some bills with this money. I didn't see this money coming. I didn't know it was coming. But since it's here, I'm going to knock down some of these bills and I'm going to get ahead of these bills that I know are coming back around, that's going to boomerang back around next month. But I'm going to jump ahead of these bills. You spend all of the majority of that money on the bills, groceries, whatever you need. And then you say, man, that whole 1,000 is gone. Man, you be like, man. But a day comes, probably 30 days from the day you spent it, when you go, man, I'm glad I paid down some of them bills with that money when I had it. You're gonna walk into that day if you do what you should do with that money, right? Some people even take what I just said and use that when it comes to an investment. Like it may be an investment that you feel is safe or something you feel that you could put your money in that you feel was safe. And investment ain't nothing but a gamble, so it's not guaranteed. But if you're trying to grow your money, right? You're trying to grow it. You know, I can commend the person who's trying to grow their money and you may put it into an investment that don't work out, but it was all in an attempt. You was trying to multiply it, just didn't go your way. I can respect and appreciate that because you was trying more so than somebody who just got the money and just, we going to the Galleria. They go to the Galleria and just, what are these, man? I got these Balenciagas, man. These shoes cost $700. Yeah, but you only had 1,000. See? And a day's gonna come when that money is needed and you don't have it, and you're gonna look down in the corner at those expensive shoes or whatever you got, and the shoes gonna be like this. Ain't nothing I can tell you. Why you looking at me? You wanted me. You got me. And how many pawn shops are filled with items that were purchased in moments of seeming prosperity? of what seemed to be moments of what seemed to be prosperity. How many items are in the pawn shop that were purchased in moments like that? That you had to have that talk with yourself, and you had to look and go, like I said, you had to do this. I gotta sell this thing, man. I gotta pawn this thing. I'm gonna come get it back, man. You set it on the counter. Yeah, I'm gonna come and get it back, man. How much you give me for it? And then when he tell you how much he gonna give you for it, you like, man, hold on, man. You know what we do in that situation? We start telling them how much we paid for the jewelry. That don't mean nothing to the pawn shop. That's not how it works. Man, I paid $5,000 for this, man. You only want to give me $200? Yeah, because they have to make money off of it. They trying to make a profit. You think you're gonna buy it for $5,000 and they're gonna give you $4,800 for it? You couldn't sell it back to the jewelry store for what you paid for it. So now those items, they have very little to zero value. And you start thinking back, man, shouldn't have bought that. Man, I ain't need that other car. I ain't need that car, man. Why I had to get that car? I'm trying to keep up with them boys, man. Everybody had one, so everybody said we had to get me one. That's another way where we part with our money, trying to keep up with other people. You trying to keep up with people that got real money. You got delusional money. Your money it's all right, but it don't have the weight. Your money ain't got no hips. Your money got a BBL. Them ain't natural hips. It ain't no weight, ain't no substance to it. We can look at your money and see a finish line. We can look and say, oh yeah, I see the end of his money. It's a little further down, but I can see the little stripe that say finish line. And you running with people who money is way like you can't see nothing. It's like, man, I can't see no end. It's like looking out into the universe. And you trying to hang out with them and ball with them. You ain't built like that. Like they say, it's levels. But in our quest to want to look like more than what we are, we play that game. We play that game, and before you know it, you falling off. It's like 10 people running a race, but it's a long distance race. And we started, it was 10 of us. And it looked good in the beginning. Everybody was packed in together. We was all just side by side running. But as time goes on, certain people start dropping off. They off the screen. Oh, man. Other folks still running. Then a little bit more time passed. See one or two more. They drop off. Only the ones who got that kind of wind and stamina, they still running. That's how it is. If you're not able to run the distance, then you have to find a race that's conducive to your situation. You running in the wrong race. You in the wrong group. You running in the wrong group. A fool and his money will soon part. And one of the things that I've learned is that just from personal experience and also from uh, seeing other people, one of the most frustrating things, right, or one of the most disappointing things is when you reach a point in your life where it hits you that your resources and the knowledge to manage those resources, they did not line up at the same time in your life. I'm going to say that one more time. One of the most frustrating things and disappointing things is when you realize you reach a point, or if you reach a point where you know that your resources, when you had resource, you had the bread, you had the assets, you had the connections, but it didn't line up with the proper mind at the right time. So one may have come first, and if the resources come first, then you walking on eggshells. It's a dangerous game because now it's a race against the time. You on the clock. You got to hurry up and learn how to manage this bread before your ignorance causes you to lose it. But some people acquire the knowledge first. Some people get the knowledge when they broke because they trying to learn how to get to the bread and hold on to it. Or some people are just, they coasting along, they working, they doing all right, they doing the best they can, but they want to grow it. And they start to learn ways to not blow it once they grow it. So if there's knowledge, they have to know it. But if that one come first and that other ain't lined up, then you lose the money. And then sometimes, y'all, when the knowledge comes, because you can rebuild, but boy, it's tough. But when the knowledge comes of how you should have been moving, you're like, man. Because like I said with the athlete who retires in his 30s or whatever, or like I said with the $1,000 that the regular folks may get, the 500, whatever it is, the income tax. The income tax might have been 4,500, 5,000, whatever you got. The regret always comes after you mishandle it, you blow it. Every year people get their income tax and just lose their mind. And we would think that, like, man, well, you work, you've been working, you steady working, you get an income tax, you get a tax refund every year. How do you keep tricking off your money every year? How you not learn from last year when you blew the money off on something, and then you can't wait till next year to do the same thing you did last year, instead of saying, well, hold on, man, let me try something different this go round. Let me try something different. So food and his money soon part, man. Then you have people who, they have money. They doing all right. But they feel an obligation to want to still, keep it real or whatever. I guess that's the best thing that I could come up with, y'all. So you see people that say, well, yeah, man, yeah, he's still in the league, but he gave his homeboy 18,000 in it so he can go get a kilo of cocaine instead of doing what I said earlier, like, man, empower this guy, man, get this guy in position. You still out here fronting, giving people money to buy dope. Your name coming up in the conversations out in the streets because you still trying to prove that you are loyal. You ain't changed. You still the same dude. I got my boy, and I'm gonna look out for my. That ain't how you look out. That ain't how you look out for people, man. Then you get jammed up. You paying for lawyers. Lawyers will break a millionaire. When you get caught up in some serious legal issues, man, the lawyers will break you. I've seen dope dealers, man, that look like they making a lot of money until they get caught. Then you realize, man, he either was just running through his money foolishly, which is probably what the real case is, just balling. I'm popping bottles. I'm VIP. I'm taking trips. I'm flying them in, flying them out. I'm at the strip club. I'm making it rain. I got on all this. As soon as you get in trouble, you can't even pay the lawyer. And you think about all that I just said, you done blew 2 million right there. So in the case of the athlete, where say, man, every athlete should take certain amount of money out of their salary and put it aside in an account or something to where they can have when they retire. This is a just in case I go broke fund. If you in these streets, if you getting street money, you should do the same thing. You would be wise to do the same thing. All the money that you making, if you making it like that, because a lot of street dudes don't make money like that, but the ones that do, chunk something, no look past, chunk something to the side, and then when it hit the fan, notice I said when it hit the fan, you might have you 150, 200,000 for your legal fees. I remember back in the days, the dope dealers used to clean that money up. They used to try. See, every drug dealer didn't want to sell drugs, didn't glorify selling drugs. So I was like, man, I started off trying to just eat, help my mom pay the light bill. Then I kind of rose in the ranks, but they ended up cleaning that money up, open up a business or something, and everybody didn't want to do it. But even if you blessed the way your money never stops, you still have to live your life with the mindset of thinking that, hey, you got to live like one day it could. You have to always have that healthy fear, that healthy paranoia that serves as a security measure for you to always feel like, man, I got to live like I'm still trying to get it. And that's when it goes to the people who, like I say, you taking care of everybody, because you may not feel like that money gonna ever stop. I always think about MC Hammer, man. I love MC Hammer. And part of the reason why I love MC Hammer is because of what I'm getting ready to say about MC Hammer. In his quest to make sure that all his people were taken care of, it broke him. Or just, it hit him financially. I can't say the man broke. I don't know, but what I'm saying is that I heard stories of MC Hammer having at his peak, having a $500,000 a month payroll. Now I don't know, how much validity is into that, but even if it's somewhere close to that, that's a lot of money. If you dropping $500,000 a month on payroll, just the people in your entourage that you paying, man, you taking care of a lot of people. You feeding a lot of families. You causing a lot of people to be able to feed their families because you have a yearly payroll of $6 million. That's $6 million a year. People probably bought houses off working for Hammer, dancing hard and getting it in. They probably have just put their children through college, possibly working for Hammer. But in his good-heartedness to do right by his people and going through the natural process of how the music industry works, where when you are super, super, super hot, and no matter how hot you are, it's a what goes up must come down type of scenario. You're so high, you can't stay up there forever. You just can't. You can't do it. So you're gonna have to come down at some point. And when you come down, it's in part because as an influx of more people are coming into the game, other people are coming up. The people in the audience's eyes and attention are drawn towards different artists. As an artist, what you do can become redundant, or it can become something that people are like, okay, well, we kind of good, we kind of cool on that now. We've seen that over the last 4 or 5 years. We're not really in, and it just by natural progression, it just you're not that hot no more. So quite naturally, when that starts to happen, the money starts to reduce. So now you're not able to maintain those salaries. And it ain't no knock at all. That's a great brother, man. But it's just a natural process. So you have to have that paranoia to, like, I don't care how good I'm doing, I ain't gonna lose my mind. What do you want, man? You know what, man? I think I'm gonna buy me a zebra. Everybody be like, a zebra? What you gonna do with a zebra? Just want to have one. You're losing your mind. Losing your mind, man. I'm gonna get me some I'm gonna have some wings surgically implanted on my back. So wing, yeah, I'm just gonna get the doctor to surgically put some wings on my back so I can walk around here like I got wings on. The procedure's only $5 million. I'm just gonna do it. You're losing your mind. I'm gonna get diamonds all the way just embedded in my forehead, all across. I'm gonna get 3 layers, 1, 2, 3 layers of diamonds. Just I'm gonna get them drilled into my forehead. Gonna cost about $6 million. You're losing your mind. See? There's too many things in this world that have no problem coming after your money. There's too many things that have no problem coming after your money that you got to fight against. You have to make sure you're not one of the ones that's coming after your own money. Be smart. As smart as you can. Don't be afraid to ask people for financial advice. You know, you see other successful people. Don't be afraid to ask. If you want to get where they at or implement something successful that they're doing, find out. Don't be overly trusting. Investigate and research everything. You know. A few other points I want to make on this. And look, man, like I say, don't enable people. Don't put yourself in a hole where you have people that are depending on your money. Grown people that are like, whew, yeah, what's the day? Yeah, the day the 15th. Yeah, that boy money hit today. Yeah. Let me give him a call. The grown men and women, man. It ain't hard for people to easily get comfortable with your resources. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. Don't be naive with your money. You got all these mega churches and mega pastors and all that telling you how you should give them your money and the reasons why you should give them your money. Don't be naive with your money. If you are part of a religious, if you have a religious belief or you are part of a group that you stand on and you follow and you believe that that's right for you and your spirituality, and you want to contribute financially to that, despite what a lot of you may think or believe or feel, it's nothing wrong with that under the right context, within the right circumstances, when it's being done with the right people. When you're dealing with a good pastor, good minister, good preacher, good evangelist, when you're dealing with those kind of people after you've took some time to figure out if they are indeed good or not, it's not hard to follow these cats' track records, man. It's not hard to see. If they're feeding you spiritually and helping you and making you better, and they're doing good things, hey man, ain't nothing wrong with donating and furthering their cause from a financial side to help them help others. But don't be stupid. Don't let nobody tell you that you need to just come off your whole year's salary because I need this and I need that. Or like we was playing around a few weeks ago. Y'all remember, some of y'all was on here when I was playing around a few weeks ago, was talking about I'm gonna come out with me some miracle water. Uh-oh, hold on, what we got? We got, what I'm gonna come out with? I got these spiritual rubber bands. I got these spiritual rubber bands, y'all. Y'all get online and order one of these. What we gonna call them? We gonna call them a blessing band. Y'all can get a blessing. You can get you a blessing band. I will send you one of these blessing bands for $200 a piece. Y'all don't know I bought these at the dollar store for $2. Don't be that person, man. Don't be naive like that. All right, man, let me see what y'all talking about, because I told y'all I wasn't going to hold y'all. I told y'all I wasn't going to hold y'all. Mr. Urban World says, yep. And I had a cousin who would ask for $50 every 2 weeks. He always promised to pay me back. Never did. Then he then he upped it to 100. I finally told him no, and he stopped. Well, yeah, because he was gonna keep going as long as you. Look, hey, bro, I'm gonna play the game long as you play the game, cuz. That was his mindset. But I guess he knew every 2 weeks that you got paid. He had a nerve to raise the stakes, huh? He raised the rent. Inflation. He was like, man, you know what? Prices and stuff is going up, man. I'm gonna have to call my cousin. He gonna have to double up, man. Every 2 weeks he asks you for $50. Come on, man. But you did the right thing, because, like you say, you told him no, and he stopped that. That means he was just riding it out. He already had his mind. See, some people handle it a different way. Some people, they like that. Then when you finally tell them no, they get mad. They act like you did something to them. He just bowed out like, well, it was good while it lasted. Had a good run. My question to you would be, how long was you giving in the 50s and the hundreds and all that? Over how long of time span did this take place? Because I want to know what the grand total was when the smoke cleared. 2 months straight. So that means he was hitting you 2 times a month for 2 months. So that's only 4 times he hit you. Unless he hit you a couple of times and then he shot it up to 100 after that 3rd time or something. 2 months is only 4 cash requests. But that's a long time, though, because it's long enough to recognize a pattern. But people ask you for help. Help is temporary. Help should never be a consistent action. I shouldn't have to call you every day or every week for help. I should need help. I should ask you for your help in a time where I don't have no other options, but with the thought in mind to use whatever you're giving me to help me help myself. Dragon breath, spine of creation. The world is not a dangerous place because of the people that do evil things, but because of the people who do nothing when it happens. Well, I disagree. The world is a dangerous place because of the people who do evil things. Because if they wouldn't doing the evil things, then we wouldn't really kind of focus on those who we say do nothing when it happens. Those who kind of just turn a blind eye. That's one way to look at it. It's like, yeah, man, wow. You knew that dude was scamming that old lady out that money, and you just kind of like, it ain't none of my business. But the root of it is the people who are doing the evil in the first place. I'm in the comments looking at what y'all talking about, man. Phantom Face Final. As long as you did it out of the kindness of your heart, you'll be reimbursed. And that's a fact. That's true. When you do good because you just wanted, because it's just the right thing to do, and you just wanted to do good, you'll get a blessing. God will give you a blessing back. But he also don't want you to be a fool either. You also got to know the cutoff point when you realize, because your alarm goes off. Please believe. See, that first time when somebody hit you for it, when they ask you, you're like, oh yeah, no man, no problem, man. Oh man, I'm sorry you're going through that, man. Yeah, I got you, bro. Here you go, man. Hey man, I wish I could do more, man. Hey, God bless you, man. You know, that's what you do. It's like when you give somebody some money on the street. You know, that first time, you know, they might give you that story, and then you, oh, okay, well, hey man, God bless you, brother. I hope thing. Now, when you come to that store, now for the 11th time, and this dude's still out there doing the same thing, he not just hitting you up, he hit everybody that come through there. You're only focusing on yourself because it's you. But before you got there, he already hit up 17 people, and he gonna hit 17 more when you leave. So now you become more desensitized to it, because now you're like, well, this dude just out here just bumming. It's not viewed the same. So now a decision has to be made on your side to say, well, no, but I can't do nothing else for you, bro. Because you are not making any effort to progress. Been coming out here for 2 years. I've been coming to this store for 2 years. You've been out here for the same 2 years. Tommy No Hook says, I read a book called The Cleansing of America. I found it interesting. This conversation reminded me of that for some reason. But yeah, when your heart is in the right place, you do get a blessing. That's how the Creator works. Money Up says, what if he was pushing his music? If he pushing his music, cool. That's different. See, you're offering a product now. You're trying to sell a product. That's different. I've seen people at the intersection selling bottles of water on a hot summer day. So, I mean, if you're providing a service like, hey man, I got my new album, man. I got my mixtape, man. I mean, I don't want my $5. I don't want my $10, man. You support. That's different. I don't knock that. I'm talking about, hey man, you got $1? Yeah, man, here you go, bro. Then tomorrow, hey, what's up, man? You got $1? Here you go. Here you go, brother. Then tomorrow, now he know you. What's up, kinfolk? You got that $1 for me? Now we have a relationship now. We have a rapport. Got that $1 for me? I know. Hey man, I know my boy gonna look out for me when he come out the store. Now it's like, come on, man. Now I feel like Willie the Plankhead now, man. Come on, bro. You feel some kind of way. So you start asking questions like, say, man, so what's your plan? That's my line. What's your plan, bro? I'll be seeing you out here, man. What you got going on? What you doing? Yeah, you know. Oh man. Joe H. One time this guy came to my door, man, at 3 or 4 a.m. He was dressed in a bed sheet or a tablecloth. He said he was robbed and dumped on my street. He wanted clothes, supposedly. What did you do? Hey, y'all click the like button if y'all haven't already. I'm trying to get to 100 likes before I let y'all go. If you haven't clicked like, give me a like right now, y'all. It's so many different dynamics to just being wise with your money, man. Just, I don't care what amount. Everything that we mentioned is just different dimensions to it, different departments to it. There's no one set way. Click the like button, man. Give me to 100 likes. Give me 14 likes so I get out y'all way. I'm not going to be on here long. I promise you. It's me, what's his face says, you can be a fool without money. Trust me. Yeah, no, that's a fact. But you give the fool some money, then there we have it. Of course, you could be a fool without money. You could be a fool with money that never loses their money. See, you could be foolish in other areas. You may not be financially foolish. This title represents being financially foolish. A lot of people got plenty money, and they use their money to do other things in different categories of life that got them jammed up. Didn't have nothing. They in prison right now, still worth millions. Juan Doe says, I have a spending problem. And that's a good thing to touch on as well, because some of us, like I say, we'll live beyond our means, or we will have a situation like mama and grandma used to say, that money burn a hole in your pocket. That money burn a hole in his pocket. Look at him. He can't wait to spend it. He just got to spend it. Some of us are like that. Some of us, the second the money hits your hand, your wheels start turning, thinking about what you can go buy with it. You go into the mall instead of saying, "Oh, hold on, wait a minute." Even if you go spend some money on something, that's cool. You go buy you something, but learn how to kind of just, not all of it. Hey man, let me put this little. I'm gonna put 200 of this away off the muscle, off the rip. This 200 getting put away. Now, what else do I have to do? Okay, man, let me pay this light bill. Let me take care of it. Then if you go out and buy some Jordans, I ain't saying don't buy stuff, man. I'm not saying that, man, but everything in its proper place, man. Can't believe the Nuggets beat Minnesota like that. That's crazy. Mike Cullen, I don't know if I can hug my enemies. That's how you get a knife in your back. Oh man, I'm sorry. I don't hug my enemies. Look, I don't even believe keep your enemies close. I can keep my enemies nowhere near me that I know of. Sometimes we have enemies that we think are friends, and they right in your midst. Give me 7 more likes, man. I get out y'all way. Tommy says, what I worry about is people preying upon my talents when it comes to money. You got to hear the first part of what I was talking about when we started the live. You have to surround yourself. Your team has to be built on people that you really feel strongly that you can trust. Anybody can mess over you. Your mama can mess over you, man. Let's just keep it a buck. But you have to make sure that you had no clue that mama was going to do that. Mama went left. Build your team from the inside. That's what I say. And the inside represents people that, like I say, you trust, that you feel got your best interest. Do the best you can. Appreciate you, Jack Daniels. I need one more like. Drop y'all locations in the meantime. I'm going to shout y'all out before I go. Big Ock, man, where you been, man? I was asking about you last week. I appreciate the love. My homie Big Ock come flying in. Dollar bill, y'all. Y'all go check out the last post I put on here about the clothing line that I'm working with called Volage. There's a video up on this channel. Y'all go check it out and support. Y'all see something on here y'all like? Support, man. Independently owned family company. And that's another thing. Let's stop making the rich richer. Let's make somebody who's not rich rich. Phantom Face says some people spend it before they got. We've all done that. Money should be circulated and enjoyed, but not squandered. Joseph, that's a good point. I know as black people, we put about 1.5 trillion into the economy every year, and it don't circulate. We don't circulate our money well at all. We kicking it out. Hey, take my money. All that money we generating that we could do so much with as a collective. Eno Yaj, money is your happiness. You're not that happy. Yeah, I mean, money should be known and understood. It should be understood that it can serve a purpose to create a life, a world that you can be happy in. So if you take money, you say, man, we're going to buy some land, start growing our own food and all this, now you have created a scenario where your children and your generation, your family, your people, y'all can live without the worry and the stress of that. That's happiness. Security is happiness. Comfort is happiness. Having unlimited resources at your disposal, that's happiness. Those things can be generated with the use of money. Building institutions and things that are needed in society and among our people, and those things represent happiness. But for some of us, it stops at the money. Like, whoop, I got it. I'm happy. Because what we're happy to do, we're happy to give it to somebody else. I can't wait. I'm so happy because I can't wait to hand all of this to somebody else. Let me shout y'all out, man. I'll make a video. Maybe I'll come on tomorrow or Sunday, and we'll make a video where we talk about the whole enemies dynamic. Because I see a couple of y'all, I think it kind of went to that. So I wrote that down. We'll deal with that dynamic about enemies and loving your enemies and keeping your enemies close. And things like that. I'll specifically. That's not on topic tonight. Let me shout y'all out, man. Hold on, I'm going over. I'm going over. Y'all dropped y'all location. Okay, there it is. I got lost. All right. Mike Cherry is in Michigan. Phantom Faces in Columbus. Mr. Urban World is in Indiana. Greek Kane, Auckland, New Zealand. Man, I see that the Midwest representing heavy up in this piece. Anthony Cofield, too much of anything ain't good for anyone. Yep. Efren Gonzalez in Gonzales, Texas. Man, they named the city after you? Well, you got different spelling, though. Andres M. is in San Antonio. Dragon Breath Spine of Creation is in Nuevo, Mexico. Hold on, Efren, where you at, man? You in two places at one time? You went from Gonzales, Texas to Arriba, Mexico. That was fast. Is that in Babazeli? Where I'm from, fools spend their money on alcohol and end up with nothing in a short space of time, exhausting. Yeah, it happens. Craig Spurt, Philadelphia. Yeah. Join Ramo. Do I know the Godfather? That's all the shout outs. That's it. That's all the location drops. All right. Let's wrap it up. Money can bring happiness, but a lot more misery is caused by the mishandling of it, the mismanagement of it. There's people with a lot of money that's hanging themselves in bathrooms and closets. All right, y'all. Clock on the wall. Hold on, we got a few more shout outs. Hold on. Eno Yaj, 415, that Bay. Phil Mo, Cali. Hey man, if y'all haven't heard the new Spice One album, the Platinum OG 2, y'all go support the homie Spice One. Your big brother K-Rino made a little feature appearance on the new Spice One album, man. Shout out to the OG, the legend Spice One. Hold on, we got a few more. I don't want to forget nobody. Hit the like button if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the sports podcast channel too, called Legends 34 Podcast. The new episode is up with me and the homie DJ Rec. The episode is up now. Y'all go check it out, man. All y'all sports fans and want to be sports heads that think y'all know stuff. Jose Cal is in Louisiana, out there in Lafayette. Damn Talk is Kau, Hawaii. San Fran. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get. Tommy is in Salt Lake City. Patrick Chin says money is neutral. Yeah, money has no life. Money can't walk, talk. The owner of the money dictates the use of it. Juan Doe is a Spring Branch. Big Ock in the South Bronx. Red's Boy, the Navajo Nation, 505. Shout out to the Navajo Nation. All right. Hey man, and we re-released one of our earlier episodes of the Underground Dialogue podcast, the infamous rapper draft. Y'all go to Underground Dialogue and check out the rap draft and tell us who y'all think won. Anthony Caulfield is in H-Town. All right, y'all. Blessings, man. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace and love. Hold on, Methodical Man. I got you. Palm Coast, Florida. Appreciate the love, man. I am the worst rapper alive. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. Peace.